Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. And this is one of those daily market updates where I don't even know where to start. There is so much coming out as it relates to the cryptocurrency space. I think probably one of the better places for me to start is what Bank of America CEO had to say yesterday as it relates to the cryptocurrency space. And actually, he very much said, and we'll dive into an article before we play a clip of what he had to say on CNBC, that Bank of America CEO says financial industry will jump into crypto payments if regulators allow it. We will be looking at what's coming out of Capitol Hill. Obviously, we've got the chairman of the financial services GOP, French Hill, now talking about crypto and the task force. There's a hell of a lot going on. These are all the ETFs that we've got. We're going to break all this down. Obviously, Trump investing $500 billion over 4 years into AI infrastructure. Are we going to see a similar kind of pouring into the cryptocurrency space so that they can maintain their dominance, just like they're doing with AI, but in the crypto sector? I think there's a potential of it. Also, we've got news on Tornado Cash. We'll be looking at, of course, some price action. Bitcoin selling off slightly today. But all is well, guys. Do not fear. Allincrypto is here. So let's kick things off. This is Bank of America CEO says financial industry will jump into the crypto payments if regulated or regulators allow it. So we're talking about things like XRP here, XLM, etc., etc. We've got videos coming out on both this evening. Bank of America CEO Brian something, I'm really bad with second names, guys, and pronunciations, said that the US banking industry will embrace cryptocurrencies for payments if regulators allow it, for the same reason that we send emails and not letters, guys. That's the fundamental technological change that's going on here. We're creating this internet of value. The head of the second largest US bank by assets was asked by CNBC's Andrew Ross about how the industry approach to crypto could change given President Trump's enthusiasm for digital assets. If the rules come in and make it a real thing that you can actually do business with, you'll find the banking system will come in hard on the transactional side of it. He said this at the World Economic Forum event in Switzerland, Davos. And also, there's a lot for us to cover. We've got so much to get out, guys. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you really are missing a lot of the great news that comes out. Also, get over and follow us on Twitter at @RealAllInCrypto. We've taken on a lot of team members to help, really get this brand to where you guys deserve it to be, which is that one-stop shop for the cryptocurrency space. And we're growing immensely at the moment, which is nice, and we thank you all for your support. So this is huge. Second largest bank in America, now actually talking about embracing crypto specifically or directly for payments. And they've obviously done pilots. They've got patterns with XRP, etc., etc., etc. I know not everyone's a fan of XRP. That's totally fine. We just happen to think it is going to play an instrumental role in what's coming. Let's now dive over to a clip of the Bank of America CEO actually talking on CNBC, and then we're going to proceed with all the other things we've got to cover today.
Considering there's still 4,000 banks, so it's not like there's considering the disaggregation in this industry.
Let me ask you a separate question, and Becky's got one back in Washington, but on crypto. We just had Brian Armstrong sitting in the seat that you were in, and obviously there's a lot of excitement about crypto. The banking business, for the most part, has stayed away from crypto. Given President Trump's full-throated support for crypto, do you imagine Bank of America is going to be full-on in the crypto business if we have this conversation 12 months, 24 months from now?
I'd separate out this sort of crypto versus stable assets and digital movement of money, because we already move the vast majority of our money digitally. Our consumers do, our companies do. And so the question is, what's the business practice that you have to move another type of currency? So if the rules come in and make it a real thing that you can actually do business with, you will find that the banking system will come in hard on the transactional side of it, non-anonymous, transactional, verified, et cetera, because we have to, because it's just another way our customers are going to
The other thing we were talking about was the possibility that Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies actually are a threat to the U.S. dollar. Scott Bessent's talked about needing the U.S. dollar to be super powerful.
Yeah.
Is it a threat?
I think there's a whole bunch of dynamics about all the trade and all the consumption of the U.S. consumer and all the stuff that goes on. But I think we do need a strong U.S. dollar. We need a U.S. dollar to be reserve currency. It's good for our country. But what I'm saying is, if you go down the street here and you go in and buy lunch, if you can pay with Visa, MasterCard, a debit card, Apple Pay, et cetera, this will just be another form of payment in an instantaneous cash transfer. And so I think if it becomes regulatory okay, which it wasn't before, and that's one of the issues, you'll see the banking system enter with, we have hundreds of patents on blockchain already. We know how to enter the field. When you get to the investment side and the Bitcoin stuff, that's really a separate question. That's more on the investment side. From the transactional side, I think you'll see the banking industry make moves.
That's huge, guys. Second largest bank in really America, but broadly the world. I'm not quite sure about that, actually. Maybe you've got some banks elsewhere that are slightly bigger in terms of size, but certainly central banks. But that's the gravity of what he just said cannot be understated, in the sense that actually we're going to see the actual financial institution with this new regime fully embrace and harness crypto. And you need to try and find what cryptos they're going to do with that. Certainly with the likes of Trump coming out and now starting to throw money all over the shop. President Trump will announce a joint venture by OpenAI, SoftBank, which are involved in crypto, by the way, and Oracle, called Stargate, with an initial $100 billion investment in US AI infrastructure and plans to grow $500 billion over 4 years. The projects will launch data centers in Texas and expand nationwide, aiming to solidify Americans' position in the AI revolution. Also, some stuff coming out with Vitalik on the back end of this. Now, if they're doing this with AI, remember, you've got the AI and cryptos are, you're likely going to see an announcement coming out in regards to crypto and investment directly into it. And similarly, just like you've got OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, various cryptocurrencies working together, potentially HBAR, XRP, and some of the ones that are definitely involved in America's agenda to become a kind of crypto superpower. This also came out today. This is from Chair French Hill. I am pleased to see SEC from a crypto task force, former crypto task force. This is the first step in undoing an immense harm caused by former chair Gary Gensler and his regulations by enforcement approach. This action sends a clear message to the world that when it comes to crypto, America is back. I look forward to working with my colleagues in Congress and Trump's administration to provide long overdue regulatory clarity that will allow digital asset economy to thrive under the United States. And remember, Bank of America saying that's really all they're waiting for. This is a list, ladies and gentlemen, of all the ETFs that are pending right now. Everything from Sol to Doge to Bonk to Trump to Litecoin to HBAR to XRP. More ETFs in regards to Bitcoin, baskets, etc., etc. This is insane what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And ultimately, there's a fundamental narrative that drives every bull market. This is this one, and of course, technically, when we have been looking at this, price will bring you early to the party, just like us getting back into the markets at the start of 2023. So January the 5th was our actual entering in, and we're doing very well since then in regards to our overall portfolio. You want to unlock that, do become a Patreon, guys. We've got a miner in there that I just think is going to do insanely well. But Bitcoin still has far higher trajectories ahead of it. And this is before all of this has taken place, before, I don't even think there's been an executive order as it relates to crypto just yet, other than maybe the task force and other things. But what he is doing is freeing people like Ross Ulbricht. There was news actually also just today that court overturns Tornado Cash sanctions. So Tornado Cash was something you could put your Bitcoin into and kind of mix it up, which is very interesting. They're now starting to undo a lot of the damage that, of course, was caused by Gensler and his very tyrannical regime. So this is all very positive. Price action on Bitcoin isn't reflecting that. Bitcoin dominance is coming down. Is Bitcoin dominance now in a broader downtrend? I would certainly like to think so and speculate on that. The dollar, just to come back to Bitcoin dominance, the dollar did a very interesting move yesterday that I'll be talking about with Patreons later on. But, is this the end for Bitcoin dominance, or is it going to rally off of this? I think this is going to squeeze into a downside, and ultimately that's when the bulky bull market takes place. There's likely going to be fundamental news that sort of sees all that come to fruition. The Dixie, as we've spoken about it, because the dollar is very much still part of our story, whether you like it or not, came down pretty harshly yesterday. And there is this kind of thought out there by the likes of Julian Bittle in regards to a repeat of what we saw with the dollar in 2016. Obviously, again, on the back end of Trump, and is that going to take place again? And of course, that would be a great macro narrative, weakening dollar, likely in the back end of lowering interest rates, potential fiscal support for the bond market, that would see assets do exceptionally well. And there is this alignment between the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory and, of course, debt refinancing. But that's for an entirely separate video. Guys, there's a hell of a lot going on in the space right now. do become a subscriber. Do go and follow us on socials. Also check out our website if you want to take your journey a step further. Find out what I'm buying and where. Become a Patreon. We've got lots of cryptos people aren't paying attention to right now that we think are going to do well in sectors like AI, etc. And of course, we've got all your American kind of cryptos that are doing exceptionally well for us. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.